Most people think the 2000 smoky eye look is just smudge out dark eyeshadow everywhere and hope for the best. And honestly, that's why most of them end up looking like a damn raccoon. The 2000s baddie smoky eye is one of the most strategic eye looks ever. Once you know the exact formula, and with some practice of course, it takes maybe 10-15 minutes and it makes you look like the ultimate baddie ever. And I'm talking full pussycat doll Nicole Scherzinger baddie. So today I'm breaking down the ultimate 2000s baddie smoky eye makeup look step by step for my beginners, so you never have to worry about looking like a dang raccoon ever again. And everything, including the brushes, are gonna be from the drugstore, so let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Monica Ravi-Conway, your fairy brown mother, here to help you break down beauty in a way that actually makes sense. What really inspired me to make this video was a couple weeks ago, I turned into Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls. A number of you guys, my community, that were practically begging for this makeup tutorial, me shook, because I guess the 2000s are back. This video is really gonna be focusing on the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. So I am gonna do my base routine and have it done. If you're a beginner and wanna know how to do your base routine, I'll link a video up here. But if you wanna know how to do the ultimate perfect 2000s inspired smoky eye, this video is for you. Grab a seat, grab a notebook, and let's get into it. I think one of the biggest mistakes when trying to do a smoky eye or really any bold eyeshadow look is not learning your own eye shape. There are so many beautiful and different eye shapes that make us all so unique. For some reference, I'm someone with a double eyelid and I have almond eyes. So I have a crease right here that goes over my eyelid, but it's not quite hooded. But that crease is something that I have to look out for. That's what also can cause me to look like a panda if I don't do this right. And because I have almond shaped eyes, this part right here tends to go slightly downwards. So I prefer a smoky eye that kind of lifts my eye shape and kind of gives me that foxy, sultry, sexy look. Now the first step ever. Before taking your black eyeshadow, I'm taking a black eyeshadow stick. I personally find eyeshadow sticks the easiest when doing smoky eye or bolder looks. Instead of eyeshadow primer, I'm just going to sweep this starting at my lash line, and I'm going to go slowly. And then I'm going to use what my mama gave me, my fingers, and I'm going to gently start blending this out upward. It really helps blend that eyeshadow a little bit better than if I were to use a brush. I forgot to mention, this is also the Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour eye sticks. I freaking love their eye sticks, and I find eyeshadow sticks to be honestly the easiest barrier to entry when you're doing beginner eyeshadow. The other important thing I want to mention is how you blend matters. Keep in mind this eyeshadow stick does dry really fast, so when I am blending this out, I'm using light tapping motions. We're not going like this, okay? We're doing light, soft tapping motions, like back and forth. The most important thing is when I relax my face, do you see how the eyeshadow has not gone above this crease right here? That's one of the most important parts. The moment, especially in the beginning, you take that eyeshadow above your crease, your hood, your lid, whatever you want to call it, gonna end up in raccoon territory. Now we're gonna go in with a second layer, and we're gonna do the same technique just so I can build up the pigment to the level that I want it to. Here's just the one layer, and here is the second layer. You can honestly leave it like this if you want, but I love a bold, sexy, smoky eye, so I love a second layer. I feel like I look like the Pirates of the Caribbean right now, but we're gonna trust the process. This is the Makeup Revolution Master Icons palette. This is actually a dupe for the viral Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette, and I feel like this is a really great, solid, affordable neutrals eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna be using two different brushes. Both of these are from e.l.f. This is also a really great lesson in brushes. So a fluffy brush, one that are dome shaped, and do you see how the bristles here are very, very loose? This is really great for blending out eyeshadow. But because it's so fluffy and loose, this is not very good for precision. So if you want something a little bit more precise, you want to use something called a packing brush. Compared to these bristles, the packing brush is a lot more stiff and a lot more dense. A brush like this is really great for building up pigment and packing on the eyeshadow, and a fluffy blending brush is really great for blending out the eyeshadow to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Now you might be wondering, why do you want to apply more black eyeshadow on top of black eyeshadow? Baby, the answer is simple. I need more color. But let's be honest, it's a little messy. The eyeshadow stick gives us a really good base. The powder eyeshadow has something to stick to, and then your eyeshadow is not going to crease. It's going to last all night. Let's be honest, you're probably going out on the town. You probably need your smoky eye to last. It also does, if you could see here, come with 2 cream eyeshadows. So you could also use the cream black in here, but I find that this one almost looks a little bit gray, at least on my skin tone. The first shade I'm going to take is this black again, and I'm using that e.l.f. packing brush. I'm going to be taking some evenly distributed. If I go straight in like this, it's going to become a little bit patchy. Especially when working with black eyeshadows, I always work on the back of my hand. I like to work the powder color really into the brush. I experience less fallout when I go in and press it right over that black we just put. You see, it's like immediately intensifying that eyeshadow stick that we just put on. I'm gonna use light tapping motions again, because if we swipe, we're going to destroy the beautiful work that we just put down. We got max pigment, max opacity. This is as black as it's probably gonna get. I've actually decided to add a 3rd brush. I'm sorry, I want this to be perfect, and I want you to have the right tools, but thankfully this is like $2 from the drugstore. This is the e.l.f. crease brush. Crease brush does exactly what it says. You wanna put it into your crease, which is that line that's like right there. I'm gonna slowly start work in like circular motions like this. I'm going to slowly start buffing it upwards. But notice how I'm never like going up here. The moment that the black touches like the brow bone there, you're in trouble. I'm calling the police on you. But we're really gonna take our time blending, fam. I am gonna speed this clip up, but I'm not gonna cut it to show you guys how long it really does take for me to blend out this eyeshadow. So now it should look something like this. Still not quite there yet, but we're getting there. So I'm gonna switch brushes. Both of these blending brushes, when I was using them, by the way, they were clean. Okay, that's the most important part. These are not dirtied. There's nothing on here. And I'm going to continue now with the fluffy blending brush, blending this into my crease and just really making sure that there are no harsh lines and everything just looks really seamless. Now everything kind of goes from really, really pigmented to somewhat blended out, but we're still not 100% there yet. We need another transition shade. Your transition shade is going to depend on your skin tone. The darker your skin is, the less contrast you have from the black. So you maybe only need like 1 transition shade. If you have really fair skin, you might need 2 or 3 different transition shades. And the transition shade lives right where the eyeshadow is and your brow bone to sort of help blend the black into your skin tone so that it's like a seamless, beautiful ombre blend. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take back that e.l.f. crease brush, the smaller fluffy brush.
I'm gonna just be a dirty little girl.
And wipe it off. You honestly can get another brush. I don't want to, I'm lazy. This dark brown shade next. I'm gonna do the same technique that I taught you earlier. I'm gonna dip the brush into the pan. And do you see how it's all stuck on the top like that? I'm going to press it into the back of my hand again to really work that shade into the brush. This color is the closest to the black shade. I'm going to start where that perimeter is, and then I'm gonna apply the color in light tapping motions. We're not swirling this time. We are tapping, my friends. Tap, tap, tap in.
Tap that wiener, tap rotisserie chicken.
This is also the part where you could get fun. You can have your transition shade be blue. You can have it be purple. You can turn it into like a sunset look. Black eyeshadow is honestly like an Asian mom. She means well, but she comes off a little intense. See what I did there? We're here back to looking like a mess. Our blender brush friend. I'm gonna try to clean the brush on a dirty rag again, and then I'm gonna use that blending brush and start blending the brown upward. You see how everything is starting to get a lot more seamless? Don't worry about the under eye, I know. We're not there yet. One step at a time, my friend. Other goal is to really make sure that you keep the eyeshadow in a little bit more of like a lifted round shape, because the moment that you drag the eyeshadow downwards, honestly, the eyeshadow is gonna start to age you. A hack that I do wanna share with you, if your eyeshadow kind of got messy like it did right here, on your clean blending brush, so I'm gonna wipe it off again. I'm gonna take a powder in my skin tone range. Keep in mind, this hack only works if The eyeshadow is mildly like patchy like it is here. I just have my face powder on this brush. This is the Dibs Beauty setting powder. I really like this powder for all over my face. And then I'm gonna take that powder and just lightly blend it in, but this sort of will help get that edge really, really soft. Look at that, see, it's already fixing it. Oh. Honestly, I might even do that on the other side. Now I'm gonna take a second brown shade from the same eyeshadow palette. This is the black shade we use. This is the dark brown shade we use. The second transition shade, and to warm it up ever so slightly, I'm gonna be taking this almost like brownie taupe shade. I'm gonna be taking it on the fluffiest blending brush instead of crease brush. But I am gonna do the same technique. I have the powder on the brush there, so there's not too much pigment. I'm gonna blend it into the brush on the back of my hand. Now I'm going to sweep it on the upper brow bone part. Really gonna help warm everything up and just help everything look really diffused. Here's without the medium brown transition shade, and here's with the medium brown transition shade. It makes quite a bit of a difference. I also feel like it just makes my eyes look a lot less beady, if that makes sense. So now for good measure, we are going back a step because I like my eyeshadow black. Okay, I'm going back in with that black over here and the packing brush, and I'm gonna slightly, ever so slightly wing out the smoky eye to kind of give it more of like a feline lifted effect. And then I'm gonna take that crease brush again and just blend it upwards. And the reason I like to do this last instead of first is because I personally like to build the shape first of the eye, and then I will change the shape, I'll wing it out, I'll add to it after, because black is again a very unforgiving eyeshadow color. Now the eye has like a lifted look. And this was something that I actually noticed about Nicole Scherzinger's Pussycat Doll 2000's Smoky Eye. It wasn't rounded. It was like snatched. Almost done, but I promise you the devil is in the details, especially if you want to get this perfect. So now for the fun part, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my NARS Pot Concealer. I know this is not from the drugstore, but you can take really any concealer. It's a little bit on the drier and like matte side, and I'm going to use this really tiny like blending brush. This is the Smudger brush from Real Techniques. This is also a really affordable brand. And I'm gonna take that concealer and I'm just gonna clean up my brow bone ever so slightly. Gonna wipe off the excess from the brush, and then I'm going to gently blend the eyeshadow and the concealer together so it's completely seamless. The other reason I'm doing this is because I'm gonna take that smudging brush again. I'm gonna wipe it off. I don't like to use 50 brushes. You can use another brush if you want to. And I'm gonna take one of the lighter shades here. This is again respective to your skin tone. If I use a shade like this, it's gonna go so like ashy on my brow bone. It's not something that I prefer. So I'm gonna use something that's a little bit more beigey or taupey like this. I might mix these two shades as my highlight shade. Something to note that I have not talked about before is that this idea of like highlighting and like contouring. So we use like the darker brown shades. It like sucks up the light. That's why darker shades to contour and lighter shades to bring that part forward. I want to look extra snatched. I could take that lighter shade. I'm gonna put that on the top of my brow bone right here. Do you see? That's already really damn light, but this is also why it's important to do the colors based on your skin tone. Because this is a 2000 smoky eye, I did go in with a cooler toned highlight shade. So again, wiping off the excess on a towel and just making sure that that brow bone is connected to the ombre that we just did with the smoky eye. Everything should seamlessly blend into one like an ombre. Now, are both sides 100% the same? No, because I see eyeshadow as being like sisters. They're not twins. Now for the fun part that is totally optional. Shimmer. I love a shimmery silver smoky eye. You can definitely leave it matte, but I feel like when you've got such a beautiful dark base, anything sparkly that you put over it is just gonna make it pop. Fun part is you could do so many different shimmer shades once you've laid down the base. You could go blue, purple, silver, gold, but today I love a classic silver, and these are the singular eyeshadows from Kiko Milano. I'm gonna take that packing brush again, and I'm gonna wipe off the excess here. This is the shade number 1. It's got a gold side and a silver side. What I really like about these eyeshadows is they have a clear base. So they pack a really nice punch, but they're not gonna look ashy on darker skin. And I am gonna gently load up the brush here. I'm not gonna put too much on because I love a scattered glitter effect. So the brush should look something like this. I'm doing the same technique. Y'all are gonna be so bored of me saying that at this point. I prefer to use shimmer as like a highlight. So I like to apply this and tap it just on the center of my eyelid. You cannot tell me that doesn't look so pretty. I love a good shimmer, always. Now, this is completely optional. You can skip the step if you want to, but I love a smoky eye with a black liquid liner wing. I'm just gonna quickly draw a cat eye wing, but let me know if you guys want an in-depth eyeliner tutorial down in the comments as well. Almost done, but in my opinion, this is one of the most important parts, and that is, goes on underneath your eyes. To complement the black eyeshadow on top, I love using a black gel pencil liner. You might be confused, why are you using two different liners? This L'Oreal one is inky, so this one unfortunately cannot go in your waterline. Honestly, if you put anything in your waterline, you wanna make sure it's like some sort of gel-based liner like this. You could see the difference in finishes. This one's a lot more matte, and this one's a little bit more glossy, but more black. And because your waterline tends to run a little bit wet, what I first like to do is I will take a Q-tip. I'll just dry it up a little bit so the eyeliner has something to stick to. Then I'm using the About Face Beauty Longwear Gel Eyeliner in the shade Into the Void. Instantly with the black liner, I feel like that really put this look together. Then I'm gonna take that Real Technique smudger brush. I'm gonna clean her off. The main purpose of this brush is literally what I'm about to show you, because as you can see, it's like this tiny, densely packed brush, making it perfect for smudging out eyeliner, eyeshadow, and you really want to keep the product in place. Tell me that doesn't look put together. That looks way more put together, but we have one more step. I'm gonna take one transition shade. I'm gonna mix the lighter shade in with that dark brown shade on that same smudger brush, tap it again on the back of my hand here, and I'm going to blend it out underneath that eyeshadow. I find that bringing the transition shade down to my lower lash line really also helps tie in all the colors together. Okay, the next most important part, because we put eyeshadow essentially where our dark circles are, I love taking a little bit of a brightening powder on a smaller brush and just highlighting the area right underneath. I feel like it really just helps your work like pop a little bit more. I'm gonna quickly add some mascara and lashes, but before you swipe out of this video, trust me, you're gonna wanna stay around for the lip and the blush, because that will also really make or break a smoky eye look. And because I have a cooler undertone eye look going on today, we gotta use a more cool toned blush. This is a true mauve powder blush from Tower 28. It's in the shade Sawtelle Slushy, and I'm using it on my e.l.f. blush brush. But look at this shade. Look how pretty this shade is, and I'm gonna put it higher up on my face because we wanna match the snatch of our eye. This is not the time to pull out the cutesy blush effect. We're going for bad biatch. The other thing is I'm not gonna go in with a crazy heavy hand on the blush because again, the focus is on the eyes. We just want the rest of our features to balance out what's on our eye. And for the lip, and something that I had to learn the hard way, is we're not gonna use any lip liner. I know. We almost want our lips to like enhance the rest of the look. So I finally understood why the 2000s baddie would always opt for a nude frost lip. When I showed you guys this lip combo on my YouTube shorts for my Nicole Scherzinger makeup look, half the comments also became they want the lip. Guys, I finally found the brown girl version for L'Oreal ballerina shoes. Oh no, ballerina shoes, it's the metallic baby pink lip that's been going so viral all over TikTok and YouTube shorts. But if you are a medium to deeper skin tone brown girl, this is not for us, but I did find something that was comparable for the more medium to medium deep toned brown girlies, and this is L'Oreal Color Reach lipstick in the shade Organza. Compared to ballerina shoes, this shade pulls a little bit more mauve-y in undertone, and it's slightly also warmer, but this one also has that same beautiful silver metallic shift. I love that I can also wear this shade without a lip liner, but tell me this is not the ballerina shoes for the brown girlies. It literally eats. But it's not a 2000s look without a gloss. So I am gonna add the Maybelline lip gloss in the shade Moon. I just feel like these two lippies together give like the 2000s baddie look, but like modernized. This is the final look. Let me know if we enjoy these really in-depth tutorials, and if this was helpful, definitely drop a comment what my next tutorial should be. Of course, all the products used with their shades will be in the description down below. And if this video was helpful, be sure to give this video a like, be sure to subscribe. If you are a beginner and you want to know how to do the base that I did earlier, I'm gonna put that video right here. So instead of seeing you next time, hopefully I will see you guys in 2 seconds. Bye.